Our world is nowadays full of distractions, physical and mental clutter, and the noise just seems to grow year after year. The abilities of being able to focus and think clearly for long periods of time are becoming rare. In this video, I want to share with you 12 things that I don't buy anymore to sustain mental clarity and stay focused. Reducing or getting completely rid of these things has really helped me to stay productive in the things that actually matter to me. I'm sure you will find this video helpful to protect your own goals and well-being. One little disclaimer thingy before we get started with these tips I want to share with you is that even though I have stopped buying these things in my life, it doesn't mean that you need to eliminate them from your life. If they bring you value and gets you closer to the person that you want to be in life, then everything is fine. So let's get straight into number 1. Electronics I don't necessarily need. I remember when it was cool to have all these devices and gadgets some years ago, but then after some time I realized that there are just too many in the market. It was just getting overwhelming and very confusing. I started to feel like what I have is never good enough. There were always these new and better models coming out of phones, TVs, tablets, smart this, smart that, smartwatches, headphones, like everything, always, every year, a new something. It was never kind of enough what I had. So currently I just have my wireless headphones that I bought second-hand. I mean, they were unused, but I got with a really good price. Then there's my father's old TV from 2010 that he just donated to me when he bought a new one. And then I have my phone that is a couple of years old and I already fixed it once when it broke. And with phones I always try, if they break, I would rather fix it than immediately buy a new one. I mean, because it's really kind of waste of money and environment as well to always buy a new one immediately when something breaks. And then I have my laptop that is 4 years old, never had any problem with it, works perfectly fine. So if your devices, whatever you need, you have, if they work fine, I don't think that there's a need to buy a better one, a new one, if they still work completely fine. Number 2, clothes. I'm not really a person who likes to go out, shopping just for fun, so I never had really like a lot of clothes, but some years ago I started to have my wardrobe really full because I had clothes from the past years still there that I really didn't use, and this really created a lot of clutter in the house, having a lot of clothes there. And then I just got rid of really a lot of them at once, and now there's not any more clutter in the house. I just have the ones that I really need and use and like. And this helped me to save time in choosing the clothes, and the mental energy I can save it to something else, and then also it keeps the house really clean, and this is a good thing because this makes me feel good. And even though I have like 5 pairs of pants, nobody has ever come and tell me that why I always have the same clothes. Believe me, nobody notices that. Number 3, online courses that I don't go through immediately. So I used to buy online courses like candies. Every time I found some interesting looking one, I immediately bought it. I still have many of those from the past 2 years, but still haven't had the time to even start them yet. Maybe for you this might not be a problem, but for me it creates kind of this feeling that I should study them now. But then after all I realized that I don't have the time now, and then I think in my head, okay, maybe next week. And then next week I think, okay, I don't have time, maybe next month, and so on. So I actually never have time to study this, and these old online courses have kind of started to haunt me in my head. So nowadays I just buy online courses if they are really relevant to me exactly right now, and I go through them immediately. I watch them until the end, and then I buy and go to the next one. Not that I buy multiple and kind of watch a little bit of each and then I never finish them. And this method helps me to be really laser focused in just one thing and helps me to get much better learning results from these online courses. Number 4, productivity notebooks. So a couple of years ago I bought this bullet journal and I thought it would completely revolutionize. How do you pronounce this word?
Is it revolutionize?
and I thought it would completely revolutionize my productivity. And as a not so creative person, this really didn't go as planned. My beautiful notes from the start.
This is how I prepared for him.
So this is how it started. Turn the page.
Do anything.
And it's very nicely organized.
But then suddenly it became just empty. There's nothing.
So now I just write my to-do list in either Microsoft Word or just in my phone's notes. Maybe I will try something new next year, but until now, this has really worked well for me. So I don't need to change it. Number 5, sale items and the just in case I might need one day things. I mean, I used to be this kind of guy that if I see something on sale that, yeah, I really need to buy, oh my god, 70% off. And then in the end, I wouldn't even use that product at all. So actually, it's not that I saved 70%, I lost the 30, kind of. So maybe you are like this, and I think many times people in general, we do these kind of things, but this is something that I stopped to do, and it has really helped me to prioritize my money and time and my space in my house in things that actually matter. Number 6, newspaper and magazines. So I'm not really like a magazine person, but the daily local newspaper used to come in our house every morning. I used to read like some of the articles there, not everything, but I still spent, some time reading actually news that I didn't really that much care actually about. And I also realized that it kind of creates a lot of trash in the house to have, big newspapers 5 times a week at least in our house. And it really didn't give me that much value, to pay for this newspaper and then have the trash and not really even read that much of it. So nowadays I just read news online, and not daily. Whenever I have time, I feel like it, and news that are actually important that I feel like I should read, and news that are kind of more relevant to exactly me and what I like to read. This has really helped me to reduce the trash, and then also to the time that I don't waste the time to reading things that I don't really care about. Yeah, the new local newspaper company still calls me every once in a while that, hey, please come back to us, but no can do. You have to keep the boundaries set. Number 7, phone applications. I used to have a lot of apps on my phone. A lot from also the past months and years that I didn't really anymore need, and they kind of created a lot of clutter, and I needed to scroll a lot to find exactly what I need. And then many times I would go in these apps, especially games, that would kind of be waste of time just because I had them in my phone and I didn't know what to do exactly. I was bored or something. So then I just deleted the ones that I really didn't need, that didn't kind of serve me anymore. So that is what I suggest to you as well. If you have a lot of apps, is delete the ones that you don't need like every month in a monthly basis. Because if you still need them one day, you can just download them again. Number 8, alcohol. As a habit in the Nordic European culture, I also used to drink quite a lot and every weekend for many years. After moving abroad to completely another culture for a few years, I understood that the drinking doesn't really give that much value to my life after all. It just caused badly slept nights, days full of sleepiness and unclear mind. Nowadays, I still go out with my friends and occasionally drink, but very rarely more than just one. I think this amount for me is good because I can still enjoy the time with my friends and really enjoy the drink as well, but it doesn't go to the point where I kind of start to feel the negative effects. Having more doesn't really anymore serve me to become the person that I want to be. So even though it's sometimes difficult to kind of be in a group where people drink more and I just don't drink at all, or just one drink, I don't find good enough reason to going back to this old habit, even though socially it would be more kind of acceptable. Please let me know in the comments if you have similar experiences related with this. Number 9, service subscriptions. I'm not a person who has a lot of these or used to have really a lot of these. I know people that have really they spend hundreds every month on different subscriptions. I used to have some, especially in like watching sports. But nowadays I just have two, that's Netflix and Spotify. And I think two is good amount for me, and having more would just kind of create this pressure that I really need to use these other subscriptions and services that I might actually not even need that much. But if you're a person that you really need a lot of services, subscriptions, maybe for your business or for your in general well-being, I think it's completely fine. For me, just two is the amount that really I need. Number 10, books I know I will not read in the near future. So books are kind of for me like online courses. If I find one, I would really like to just buy it and read it immediately. But I might not have the time exactly now to read it from the start until the end. And having them just in the bookshelf, not reading them, would kind of create me this stress and make me feel, oh, I'm not being productive, or because I'm not reading, they're still there after many months. So now what I do is I buy the book only if I know that I can read it in the upcoming weeks. And if I don't, I just put it in my phone or in my list of books to read, and then I will buy it when I have time. Number 11, meat. I know meat eaters, this wasn't probably what you were expecting, but calm down. Nobody's here to judge you and force you to stop eating whatever you want, but just hear me out. After switching to vegetarian and later to vegan diet, I noticed that after eating, I felt much less tired, and this helped me to stay focused and energized basically all day. Of course, this could be possible without having to go fully vegan as well, but for me this was an unexpected benefit of this dietary choice. So if you feel like you're really have this brain fog always after eating, for example, lunch, and it's difficult to get back to work or study, I suggest maybe try 1 week eating not meat at all. Just eat a lot of vegetables and remember still, of course, the protein, but like a little bit more light food. The last but not least, number 12, video games. So actually I saved the biggest one for me until the end. This is a bit controversial because actually I don't have anything against gaming occasionally, having fun with friends as relaxation. I believe that it's completely fine. I just added this to this video because my own experience in gaming was a little bit different from what I just described. For years, I was really addicted to gaming. And believe me, it didn't stop in the point of just a couple of hours. It went until not anymore meeting the friends and just staying inside the house for hours daily. I started neglecting some areas of life just because I had these goals in this certain game that I really needed to reach. And I felt like that was the most important thing in my whole life. And after I reached that goal and maybe got bored with the game, I switched to another and did exactly the same with a new game. And you can understand that this kind of goes on and on and on. It never stops. It becomes really an addiction. It's not anymore just playing for fun. And this affected my whole life and really created this brain fog. It was difficult to focus on other things. So when I moved abroad, I sold my PlayStation 4, and at the start it felt really difficult. I really didn't know what to do with my life anymore. I mean, I had all this free time, but I didn't have that hobby anymore, what I used to do always with my free time. So I was really out of my comfort zone, but exactly then is when the magic happened. First, I got really into listening to podcasts, and then it went more from podcasts to whole self-help. And from there, I started my own self-development journey just around 3 years ago. I still play occasionally video games with my friends, but I just do it at their house. I cannot really buy a gaming console myself again because I know that it would probably get out of hand just because of my personality. And it would distract me from the things that I actually care about in life. Hopefully you found some value in this video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking and subscribing if you want more content like this. This is Seve from Sunny Kind Journey, signing out. Until next time, ciao.